All right, guys, now that we are over the Blicket, now let's go ahead and do a heads up activity. You've done this with Mrs. Santos before. I want you guys to pair up in A-B partners. If there is an extra person, they can be part of an A or a B group. There can be 3 people in a group. Just make sure you're either an A or a B. Have one student face the screen while the other partner faces the window. Then display the words that you must get your partner to guess with clues given. You can use verbal clues. You can use hand gestures. Just do not say the word, obviously, guys. After the round is complete, feel free to ask students. This is Miss Alonso. You can ask the students what clues they gave for specific words. Then switch roles. The next person faces the wall. The other person faces the window. And you do it again. The first 2 rounds we're going to do are going to be non-math. The next 2 are going to be math-oriented. All right, guys? So what I'm going to ask right now is all the A's face the screen, all the B's face the window and turn around. Miss Alonso, feel free to pause this right now to get them all situated. So again, A's are at the window, B's are at the screen. I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1. And actually, Miss Alonso, why don't you give them about like a minute and a half, 2-minute timer? That'd be good. Good call. 2-minute timer. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, hopefully that went well. Hopefully you got through all those words. Now I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and switch roles again. So now B's face the window, A's face the wall. Actually, hold on, no. B's, excuse me, face the screen. B's face the screen, A's face the window. All right, we're going to start the next round in 3. Go ahead and pause it, Miss Alonso. 2, 1, and go ahead and pause it now. All right, so hopefully you got through those 2. Now, A's, switch roles again. A's are going to face the screen, B's face the wall. Same idea, but now it's going to be math terms. So think of all the math terms we've learned. Think about words like maybe variables, equations, subtraction, addition, all kinds of words that you have to try to get people to get. There are some tough ones on here. We'll talk about them at the end. Try the best you can with any clue you can, with whatever you can do to describe the word. This is a vocab strategy. Do you really understand the word? Can you explain it? We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Now B's face the screen, A's face the window. Let's finish this off. You know what to do. I don't need to explain much. Hopefully you guys are able to explain distributed property, where almost you're like, I call it like the dolphin jump in my class, kind of being funny, but when you have parentheses and you have a number on the outside and you have to multiply into the parentheses, what's that step called? Hopefully that's what you got to. All right. Equation has variables and constants with an equal sign, right? With an equal sign. If there's no equal sign, then that's called an expression. All right, guys? All right, let's do the last step here. B's the screen, A's the wall. In 3, 2, 1. All right, so hopefully this went out pretty well. Combine like terms. When you have the same variables or the same constants and you want to put them together, what are you going to do? All right. Multiplication, when you take 2 numbers, it's almost like repeated addition, like you also call it times or the product. Okay, things like that. Opposite of positive, it's a negative. It's a number that's less than 0, right? Constant. There are numbers in equations, not with variables, but they're the numbers in the equations, right? Quadrant could have been a tough one. That's on a graph. There's 4 quadrants. So think about your graph. The number 1 quadrant's up top right, top left is 2, bottom left is 3, bottom right is 4. How about isolate, right? We talked about that. Isolate the variable when you're doing equations. You want to get it by itself. If you're isolated, you're by yourself. Okay, cool. All right, guys, now you're going to have to be using whiteboards. We've done this activity before too. We're only going to do 4 questions. And this is just to get your brain warmed up for the lesson today. Remember, you guys need to talk. So A's have the whiteboard, please. A's have the whiteboard, please. I believe it's A's. Let me pause this real quick. Scratch that. It's actually B's. B's have the board. B's have the board. B's have the board. A's are going to talk. So B, all you have to do, your only job is to write down the equation, look at A and say, what do I do? A, you need to look down for the right words to say. If it's distribute, you need to say that. If it's combine like terms, I want to hear that step. If it's letters to the left, your variables to the left, go for it. And to be honest, guys, we're not going to be doing these 2. we're going to be focusing on these two mainly, okay? Because that's what our lesson's leading ourselves into. So just distribute and combine like terms. All right, B, you ready? We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. B's, go ahead and write down the equation. A's, get ready to hear the question of what do I do and start explaining using the first 2 steps. All right, go feel free to pause it, Miss Alonzo. All right, so if we were going to look at this problem, we were going to distribute these two right here, right? Let me make it a little bigger. So you're going to get 8x, I'm just going to write out big, plus 8 plus 2x equals, that's an equal sign, equals 48. So what did I do there? I just did the distribute property. Distribute. Now I have to look at like terms. You see my like terms? 8x plus 2x is 10x, plus 8 equals 48, then subtract 8. 10x equals 40. Divide 10. Isolate the variable. Isolate that variable. X equals 4. All right, guys? Great job. So let's go ahead into the next step. A's. Now you were talking, now you're writing. Switch boards, please. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's take a look at how we did. If we're doing this one, we're going to do the jump. We're going to get 3x, 3 times x, and 3 times 2 is 6. And then I'm just going to write out the rest of the equation. Remember like terms? All right, very similar to what we just did. Plus 6 equals 46. Subtract 6, you get 40. How many times does 5 fit into 40? 8 times. All right, hopefully you did that right. Let's go. Next problem. Switch boards again. We're going to do 2 more. 2 more. We're going to do it in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. If you did this one properly, 2x, I'm just going to do it quick. 2x is going to be here. 2 times 4 is 8. So you have 2x here and 2x here. That's going to become 4x, right? 4x plus 8 equals 12. You subtract 8, you get 4. 4x equals 4. X equals 1. X equals 1. Hopefully we're getting good at this, all right? Switch roles for our last question. So now A should have the board now, and now for the next problem because they just talked. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, go for it, guys. If we're looking at this one, 4 times x is 4x, plus 3x, that's going to be 7. 4 times 1 is 4. You subtract 4 to this side, you get 7x equals 21. How many times is 7 fit into 21? X equals 3. So hopefully you're able to get through all of that. Now I really want to start a different video. I want to make sure this YouTube comes out clean. I'm going to do notes on the next video, and I want to try to get this concept in your brain. This is the hardest math you're going to do today. Listen to me now. We are doing some intense algebra today, some freshman year content, some intense freshman year content. But if you can solve equations like this, you're going to be just fine.